name? Do you have a major?
Yes, I do. So my name is Mandys Story, and I am an English secondary education major. I want to teach high school English, so that's exciting. My favorite color is purple,
That's
as
awesome.
you can see.
So why did you want to do this project? Like what?
So back in high school, I was in a group called Legacy, and it stands for Leaders Encouraging Greater Health Awareness Concerning Youth. We basically worked with our school-based health center, and we worked with the Capitol here in Salem, and we worked with destigmatizing mental illnesses. So I thought this would be a really good way to keep going with that project that I was in high school.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
I was in the start of the group, so it was really exciting.
That's really cool. So, do you have your own experience with mental illness?
Yes, I do. When I was 14, in my freshman year, I was diagnosed with chronic depression and anxiety. So that was fun.
Yeah. So much fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Like the start of it, or?
Yeah. When did you kind of feel it, and just kind of where did it go?
Well, I began to notice it probably my 6th grade year of, obviously, middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I had just gotten out of foster care, and it was a really bad situation. I was abused by my foster dad, and they were verbally abusive as well. And so when I got out, me and my brother and my mom, and we would just all fight. And I noticed, it was to the point where I didn't want to go outside anymore, and I was locking myself in my room, and there's constant fighting in the house. And I was constantly moving in between the years. And I realized sooner or later that in my counseling sessions that I placed a lot of blame on my mom for being in foster care, and for what happened to me because of that. And so I still haven't worked over through that, but I'm working on it. And so during my freshman year, towards the end, and then my beginning of my sophomore year, it got really bad. It was to the point where I actually started hurting myself. And I think it was the day before I had my suicide planned out, and it was the day before. And I was talking to a teacher that I got really close with my sophomore year, and I told her what I was feeling and what was going on, and she got me in touch with one of our school-based health center counselors, and that's where everything kind of started to lead in. And so I started counseling there, and went and did counseling there for a couple of years, and that helped a lot, and that's where I was diagnosed. And I've still been going through rough patches, especially this past whole year, because I lost 3 family members, my grandma, my grandpa, and my nephew. And I was also assaulted on campus just about a month ago. And so I've been going through dealing with that and going through trials. And so I noticed that has started to fall back in order. So I've been seeing a therapist here more regular, and she's really been helping me get through everything. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. Thank you so much for talking about it.
Good.
I know it's really hard.
Kind of gotten used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still not fun.
It's kind of a revolving thing in my life.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think it helps you when you talk about it?
Most definitely. Sometimes, if I talk about it too much, within a week or a day, I kind of get frustrated, and it kind of brings me down. So I try to avoid talking about it for most reasons, but when I do talk about it, it's usually with really important people in my life, with Crew here. I go to Crew, and I go to multiple Bible studies, so I feel comfortable talking to them about it, and so that usually makes it easier.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think made you talk to your teacher and open up to her?
By that point in the year, she became like my aunt. I actually just saw her yesterday. She came down and visited me. So we got grown so close, like it was to the point where I would tell her everything. And so she knew a lot of what was going on. And at that point, I wasn't sure exactly if I was actually going to do it. And so I knew I needed to talk to her, because if I felt like I was actually going to do it, I thought that she would be able to help me through and stop me.
Yeah.
So, which she did.
Did you feel like you wanted to be stopped?
Part of me, yes, and part of me, no. Part of me was like, I just don't want to go through this anymore. I want it to be done. I want to be with my family up in heaven. Like, I didn't want to like feel the way I felt anymore. But then another part of me was like, I have so much to live for. I mean, I'm on track to graduate. Like, I like got all my schoolwork done, and I had good grades all the time. And I was like, if I can do this through the next couple years, like, I can go to college and I can like live out my lifelong dream. And that was being a teacher.
That's awesome. So, what did your depression and anxiety feel like? Because a lot of times we hear what like medical professionals say about it and different things like chemically, but what did it feel like?
So something I kind of used in one of my papers throughout in middle school for one of my essays, I described it as feeling like there was a million bees stinging you and you couldn't get away. That's what it feels like. I mean, it still feels like that, but not all the time anymore. So.
Yeah. What do you think got you to that point of where you like wanted to like talk to the teacher? Why did you like you just got to the kind of the end of your rope kind of thing?
Pretty much, yeah. I knew that I felt like it was going to be the end, and I didn't exactly want it to be in the back of my mind. So I think I was desperate.
Yeah.
I was desperate, and I was seeking someone who could help me just not feel that way anymore, and she helped me do that. So
yeah. So when you have those episodes, how do you like cope with it?
I've recently, I'm a dancer, so I usually dance it out a lot.
Yeah.
Like on Grey's Anatomy, I mean, you see Christina and Meredith, like they have like when they're going through stuff, they like just turn on music really loud and they have like a minute of just dancing. And because of that, I like started watching that, and I was like, I need to do this. Like I dance, so I may as well.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and that always helps me feel better. It helps me like release energy, but it also like the bad energy, but it helps me build up the good energy, and it makes me happy. I also started journaling. I use this as, I talked about this in my Writing 115 class in our technology, favorite piece of technology essay, and my favorite piece of technology is my journal, because I write absolutely everything in there. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to talk to people, but I can write everything in my journal and it's like talking to another person, but I don't have that feedback. And I can also like look at the stuff that I wrote before, and it helps me grow and reminds myself of what I'm worth and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I love journaling too.
I love it. I have like 5 journals filled, so.
Yeah. I don't know where to put them anymore.
Yeah. They're all kind of like under my bed.
Right. What do you want other people to know about your mental illness?
Well, the big thing would obviously be the title of this. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And though you may feel alone at most points, there is always someone there to talk to you and help you get through everything that you're going through. And you're never alone, whether it's talking to a friend, a family member, or just some random stranger. It's easier to open up, and even if they don't really know you, they can still help you get through it.
Yeah. would you say to someone who their loved one is dealing with a mental illness, like, and they're kind of noticing it? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say to address the situation, but not like overextend it. Don't push too hard to get to know like what is happening. Just let them know that you're there and that if they need to, they can talk to you and you can help them and just help them get through anything. But don't push too hard, because a lot of people tried to push too hard, and that made me fall down and into my little bubble.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. What stigmas against your mental illness have you faced? Like, what do you feel like?
I've had a lot of, when people find out about it, I've had a lot of, really, you seem so happy, and like, they just automatically assume that you're this great person, and then once they find out, they're like super questionable, and then they kind of fall out from that friendship. I've lost a lot of friendships because people don't want to deal with that because they think it's such a hard and difficult thing. And so I've lost a lot of friends because of that. Yeah. And there's a lot of assumptions in place of people who have mental illnesses.
Yeah. Do you want to address those assumptions at all?
I don't know, they just assume that you're like such, not like a horrible person, but like you're in such a bad place that they don't want to have to deal with it, and that they think that you can't accept being out there and having friendships. And they assume that you are working on things and getting things like your life together and trying to feel better, when most people actually aren't, and they actually don't know what to do, and they actually need that support. So
yeah. Do you think support's critical? Like,
most definitely. If I did not have the support of that one teacher, I probably most likely would not be here today. My school was basically my home, and so every single teacher that I had in my high school was pertinent to me being here today. They helped me through everything. All my English, that's why I want to be an English teacher, all my English teachers were constantly there for me and constantly listening, and actually my freshman English teacher pays for my books for college because she felt that that was a way that she could give back, and I'm completely grateful for that, because that showed me that she had faith in me and that she knew I would succeed in life. So that having that support is a really good foundation to lead you on to better things.
Yeah, that's awesome. How has your mental illness like affected your life? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking. Well, obviously, like I said, I lost a lot of friends. It's made me struggle in my schoolwork and getting things done. It's like there's points where I'm like so down deep in a rut, like I try to do my homework and I can't pull myself out of the thought of what's going on in my mind. And so it's tough to get homework done, which obviously affects my grades. But usually I can talk to the teacher, and they are supportive, and they give me extra time to do it. It's definitely affected my relationships with family members because they don't understand what I'm going through, and so they kind of just don't really talk to me about it, which, I mean, sometimes it's okay, but when it's to the point where I need to talk about it and no one wants to talk about it, it really affects my relationship with them, because then I think that they don't care. So, yeah.
What do you think all people should know about mental illnesses and what you're going through?
A big thing that I've heard is that mental illness is forever, but it's not an always. It sounds weird. You will always have that part of you throughout your whole entire life, but it's not always going to affect the way you live and the way you act and your friendships and relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like that. Is there anything else you want to say? I mean, I've kind of burned through my own questions.
Speak up about it. Go get help, because if you're in a deep, dark rut that I was in, you should definitely get help, because it was one of the most rewarding things that I could have done for myself.
Sorry, I just thought of one more thing. A lot of people kind of avoid counselors and like therapists because they're like, oh, well, that means I'm like wrong, or
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? What would you like to say?
I was definitely one of those people. I thought going to a therapist was outrageous, and I was like, I'm better than this and I don't need this. But definitely once I actually put myself into going to see a counselor, I realized that they are there to support you and to help you talk through things, and they don't judge you. They just help you see the better side of you and help you to learn what you can do that is better for yourself, such as coping mechanisms like dancing for a minute straight. And they help you work through your problems, and they just always make sure to let you know that you're okay the way you are, and there's no need to feel different.
That was awesome. All right, good job, man. That's it. Famous.